It's nice to be with you all once again. I'm Joao Caldeira. I'm the founder of the Tarot House in Lisbon, and I have here with me Lisa Croix, an artist very, very involved with tarot. She is creating her own deck, but today she is going to talk about the Tarot Diary, and that's something that she will show more about when she'll be here in Portugal for 2 workshops, and she will talk and invite people to do their own tarot diary. And but today she's going to show us her work. Lisa, um, I'll give you space for you to show your diary, and we can talk then a little bit more.
It's great to be here with you, Joao. And yes, today we're going to talk about my tarot diary. I also call it a tarot visual journal. And it's a wonderful tool for me to really work out my ideas. And I have filled a lot of pages with different things, information I get from people, spreads that I've done, readings that I've done, but also some of my story of how I got involved in creating this deck.
So it's a diary that involves writing, and it involves painting, collages, and all sort of art that can give more meaning to tarot and to your experience in terms of tarot and tarot readings as well, right?
Yes, and it's a good place to put ideas down or just thoughts or things you hear. I have a lot of different sections in the book, not divided up, but I mean lots of different ways of expressing my experience with tarot. So what you have here are some pages from the diary.
Mm-hmm. And when you do this kind of work, what you want with it? What is your goal? What do you experience with this kind of work?
Well, this particular double-page spread that you have behind you was really the start of me creating this whole deck. I did a shamanic journey, which is you lie and you listen to a heartbeat drum, and it puts you into a light trance. So that figure line there in red is me, and the yellow line symbolizes the drum. And after about 10 minutes of listening to this continuous repetitive beat, you go into a trance, and you kind of go on it's something like a dream journey, but it's similar to a daydream, but you're not leading it. In a way, it just unfolds, and it's kind of like watching a movie in your head. So I flew with Raven up to the upper world, where I went and I met the high priestess. So you can see that I put an image of the Rider-Waite deck at the bottom of that first page. And on the right-hand side, I painted my experience of this temple. So when I went up to the temple, there was this throne, and I was invited by Isis, who I think is the prototype for the image of the high priestess, and I like to say Smith Rider-Waite to include the artist. So I was invited in this journey to sit on the throne, and then I heard the words that I should create a deck. And so after this journey, I actually began to paint the deck. And so it was a very important journey for me, and I really wanted to record it. So I made these 2 paintings in my journal, and just as kind of a diary, but a visual diary of what I experienced. So I always can remember that beginning part. Neither of these 2 images are images that I have in my deck, but they're very important to me.
So in a way, this is a form of anchoring your work, anchoring the things you're going through in terms of life and experience, and also sharing with other people, right? Because otherwise it would be something just for yourself, but this way you can share with other people, right?
Yes, it's my tarot story that I'm sharing.
Mm-hmm. And we have here another image from your diary. What does this image has to do so special to you? Uh, is this
What?
another particular moment of your life?
Yes, well, this image is really the beginning of my first encounter with tarot. When I was a child, my mother went to a tarot reader and she told her several prophecies that she would leave South Africa and she would marry a foreigner and live by the sea in another country. And all these things came true. My parents got divorced. My mother met my stepfather, who is American, and she went to live in Valencia, Spain, which is on the sea. Mm-hmm. And so this first painting that's actually my mother, and there's an airplane in the background, and there's a little small figure running towards you. That's me. And on the side, I put the 3 cards that I thought maybe she received in the reading. I don't know for sure, but I just guessed those. And then on the right-hand side is this old Marseille deck that belonged to her. And I think she got that at the time of the reading. And so I actually took a photo of it and printed it out with my computer. And then I wrote the story. And there's actually another wonderful story of how that came back to me. I don't know if I should tell it now, maybe another time.
Why not a little bit, just not to leave us in terms of expectation, expecting a little bit. Yeah, come on.
Well, so I always would pull these scary cards as a child, and I didn't really care that much for the deck. And so when I was in art school, I lent it to a friend and lost track of it. And then about 12 years ago, when I became interested in the tarot again, I asked another friend who had been to art school if she had ever seen, if she ever saw this friend Bruce, and if so, could she possibly see if he had this deck of my mother's? And she said, Lisa, last week I helped him unpack. He just moved back to New York, and I found your mother's deck, and she sent it to me. So I now have that deck of my mother's, and I use it only for readings on my mother's. My mother died when I was 26, and so I only use this particular deck on her birthdays or to hear her voice if I feel like I need to communicate with her. So that's a little story. I had to write down, part of my tarot history.
Okay, so the diary is a way of keeping these beautiful moments, this beautiful experience, important experience of your life, right? And in sharing them, because when we share, I think somehow things get bigger. They go when we go beyond ourselves, go and give some part of ourselves to the other. So that somehow heart is somehow very rich in terms of sharing, in terms of being with other people, in terms of give them not just words but also feelings. When I see this diary, I see that you're sharing feelings, sharing words and image. Talk to the art. Image are very strong in terms of talking to our hearts and to other people arts as well, right? So it's a way of being with the others through your art. Is that so? Is that the feeling you have?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm trying to share something of what made me create this deck and why it's so important for me. And so I thought just giving some of these background stories perhaps illustrate, my love of the tarot and how powerful it's been in my life, and perhaps inspire other people to tell their stories. What I really would like when I come to teach the workshop is to have other people create their own journey in the tarot, and create a book where they can tell stories, but they can also put all sorts of other things in, spreads that they've done that are important, images. Maybe I have some pages at the back where I have just pages that I've got at conferences, sometimes meanings. So there's a lot of different things that I have in my journal, as well as just the personal stories. And I'd love to share those techniques with people.
And what I think it's magic is that everybody can do that in their own way, with their own capacities, with their own feelings, with their own talent. Everybody can do a diary. Perhaps it will be, not perhaps, it will be definitely different for each person, but everybody can do that. Everybody can remember the magical moments of their lives and share them. Okay, Lisa. Yes. Thank you very much. We'll have more opportunities to talk about your art, more opportunities to talk about also tarot, your deck, and the diaries and other aspects, because there are so many ways of being with ourselves and the others. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Joao.
Thank you.
Goodbye.